Peking duck now as well. I've got to go. I've got wine to drink with my friends online. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Drinks with Kate. How lovely to see you all. Every week it's getting lighter and lighter, and I sort of turned all the lights on tonight and went, oh, I probably won't need those because it's a beautiful sunny day. There we go. Reg has just gone. Reg is on the veranda, just on the balcony just in front of me. So you may see him later out back. Hi, Rob. How are you going? Those of you who have food coming to you in the next couple of days, I just want to show you. Jill will kill me, but the madness of this place this week, it's just insane. So those are the boxes for Saturday up on the table and crackers. They're the boxes laid out that are going to be packed up tonight for tomorrow, going in the walk-in fridge. And Carty, yeah, you guys have you've got some terrine already. Did my first deliveries today. Jeff did a few as well. All over the place. It was fabulous. And yeah, so enjoy your terrine, Carty. I hope it goes well with the Pinot. Craig, hi, how you going? I'm sorry we can't send food to New South Wales, but you've got the sunshine and the freedom, so I don't really feel too sorry for you. Renee, hi, happy Thursday Eve. Yeah, I know, public holiday. What's a public holiday? I'm delivering wine and food tomorrow, but then I'm going to take the dog for a big walk after we've finished. So that'll be nice. Hello, Kay. Hello, Jen and Nick. Hello, Emily and Kevin. Lovely to see you. David, excellent. Glad to see you've got your dinner all sorted out. Andrew and Alison, good to see you. Oh, well done. Moving house yesterday. Did it go well? Did you get everything moved? Are you okay? Are you broken? Sit down and relax. We have some delicious Pinot to drink tonight, and I'm going to get it in the glass. Hello, Penny. How are you? And hello, Melissa and Paul. Lovely to see you. Shell, truffle mushroom. Good. I'm glad to see that you're not letting down the side with that food. That sounds delicious. Alison, just sit back and relax. You're in my hands now, and Pinot will make everything better. Robinson Pinot 2012. It's a goodie. It's exciting. Hello, David. How you going? Glad you're ready to go. Samantha and Paul and the girls. Hi, and hi, Kenneth. Woohoo. Hey, Kenneth, did you notice that in the next box we've slipped in a little bottle of 2011 Robinson Pinot? So we're going to be doing a little vertical tasting with a gin and tonic next week in the middle, and then going back to the 2011 Robinson Pinot for the first wine of box 7. Can you believe box 7? I know we've been in lockdown for a long time, and I know that our box numbering wasn't quite right in the early days. But anyway, box 7, oh my God. And we're nearly at the end of the year. When we finish box 7, it'll be December. Peter and Sue, lovely to see you. Kieran, good morning. How's Bahrain today? I hope it's lovely and sunny. I hope you've got a nice cup of tea to drink. I don't know. More Vegemite sandwiches, Michael and Nikki. Well, look, you've got your food coming on Saturday. So duck terrine sounds pretty good. Michael, Anne and Tess, hi, yay. Okay, let's get this open. Feeling very weak today. Morning coffee, good work, Kieran. Okie doke, it's open. It's going in the glass. I can already smell it. I haven't even started pouring it yet. Sharpie and Rob, pizza and Pinot, good work. What's on your pizza? Bit of mushroom, I hope. All right, in the glass. A nice generous pour today. It's been a big week. It's not finished yet, but we can have a nice glass of Pinot to keep us going on a Thursday. Who's going to watch the football on Saturday? I have to let you guys in on a little secret. I'm not really a huge footy fan. I'm not against people who like footy. I just don't really get it. Also, another secret, I'm a Carlton supporter, so my team has been really not so good for so long. I'm kind of like, oh well, footy. Good excuse to have a party pie though. Hey, oh, go Tigers. Okay, Rob, good, excellent, go Tigers. Jeff, hi, you're here. The aroma, I know. Well, Jeff and I had to taste this wine to make sure that it was okay before we put it in the last box, and we both got a bit excited about those gorgeous aromas. And I thought I would go back and have a look at, go the Blues Penny. We'll have our comeback one of these days. Sending me pictures of their diary. Oh dear. Good chance of wine. Nice. I love it that you guys, some of you send me text messages, some of you talk on the chat. It's all hilarious. David. Look, I'm really happy for the Tigers and the Cat supporters. There's a lot of them around me. So go Tigers, go Cats. Who cares who wins? It's in Brisbane anyway. Woo! Okay, wine. I'll stop talking about football, or I'm going to alienate myself from all of my new friends on YouTube, and I don't want to do that. One day we'll get together and kick a footy around and have a glass of Pinot. That'd be nice. It did look light, Michael, when you poured it into the glass, and 2012 was quite a cool year and quite a pale coloured year when we made it. Wait till we get to the 11, though. The 11 is really pale. Anyway, I don't want to, no spoilers for a fortnight's time. Once it's in the glass, there's lovely intensity of colour, but it's certainly not opaque. You can see the light through it. It's very jewel-like. Angela, I know. Are we emerging out of lockdown into a long weekend of pouring rain? I know. Well, but we're not allowed out this weekend. They're going to have helicopters and drones and things keeping an eye to make sure that we're not actually mixing with people we're not supposed to be mixing with this weekend. Kate, I'm so glad you've gone back to the duck party pies. I am so hungry. He delivers to the peninsula. Why didn't you tell me this before? Oh, my God. Yes, Ben, you have another football game on Sunday, I believe. But it's all Australian now. It's not even the Victorian football versus the New South Wales okay, that's all right, Kate. I won't shout at you anymore. Jeff gets cross with me when I get overexcited and speak loudly at the computer because he thinks I'm shouting, but it's actually just excitement. It's excitement. Go Melbourne Storm. Yeah. Okay, wine. I'm not talking about football anymore because I really don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, wine. 3-day weekend, always a good thing. We can enjoy ourselves in lockdown for 3 days not going to work at home rather than 2 days not going to work at home. Pinot Noir, 2012. It does have almost pink tinges. Thank you, Craig, for bringing me back to the wine. Let's talk about the wine, guys. It's a beautiful wine. So Robinson Pinot, we've talked about the Robinson vineyard. I hope you like my little picture of Hugh working in the vines on the bailout today. Sitting outside. I know with the natural light coming through the wine, it's just beautiful, isn't it? I'm sorry I'm wearing a black top tonight. It's sort of black wine, fantastic. But when I hold it up, and I've actually got a tablecloth on the table, I can see that beautiful. It's sort of like a garnet, orangey, pinky red. It's so beautiful. Deb, I agree. Truffled Spanish sheep's milk cheese would be absolutely perfect with this wine. I think that would be yummy. I'm coming over to steal some after this. You'll probably have eaten it all. Stick your nose in the glass while we're swirling it around and talking rubbish, and you'll get the most incredible aromatics. It's really perfumed. But unlike the younger wines, the perfumes are not fruit and fresh flowers. It's it's more earthy. It's more there's definitely some floral aromas, but it's almost, let's have a smell again. It's almost like dried rose petals. There's a little bit of pomegranate in there. There's a little bit of cherry, but the cherries are almost just a little bit dehydrated, dried out a little bit. They're not fresh and bright. And Gruyere, Jeff. Gruyere, Jeff, I told you, Gruyere with Chardonnay, not with Pinot Noir. It's okay. You can do whatever you like. There are no rules. Have what you like, if that makes you happy. Just saw the dogs go straight past, so we're going to have dog barking in a minute. So beautiful. This is so. He does know this, doesn't he, Shell? He's just teasing me. He's playing with me because he knows that I all I can do is shout at the computer, and then he comes to work and complains that I shout at him again. So you eat your Gruyere, Jeff, and enjoy. Had a big day delivering wine and food. All right, I'm gonna have a sip of this wine. I'm gonna stop talking rubbish for a minute. Rose petals and violets and just yummy lifted things. Hello, Polly. Hello, Frodo. Hello, dogs. Yum. On the palate. Michael, I'm not sure. Are you thanking me for stopping talking rubbish and getting onto the wine? If so, you're welcome. I think that on the palate, the evolution of the wine. Oh, Jeff, he's a master deliverer. He loves coming out to your house. He's done it a couple of times already, so he almost knows his way there now. It's good. It's really good. So as the wine evolves, as it opens up, there's on the palate, I was talking about on the nose, the aromas being kind of dried florals and almost dried cherries. It's really, it absolutely is, Craig. You need to give it lots of time. But it also, I didn't want people to decant it and miss the evolution of the wine. We talked about this before, that Pinot is ever changing and it might take half an hour to get to an even better place. It might take an hour, but if you take the time to go on that journey with it, rather than just chucking it in a decanter and leaving it and then coming back. Oh, truffle pecorino, that's all right, Jeff. But Craig, I think it is a wine. It just needs lots and lots of time. The fat in the tureen would be absolutely fabulous with this wine, because that was the other thing I was going to say about this wine. As Pinot Noir evolves, and particularly this Robinson style, which when it's young, it's really pure, it's very linear, it's got this beautiful red cherry fruit. It doesn't have a lot of complexing aromas and flavors when it's really young. It's just very, very kind of focused on what it is. As it's aged, this is 8 years old now, it's developing more complexity, more savouriness, and flavors that are a little bit meaty, a little bit duck fatty, some really nice, almost truffly, mushroomy aromas and flavors coming out in the wine. And as it opens up and as it gets more air in it, those mushroomy, truffly, savoury characters are coming out more and more. Penny, if we can get out of this Metro Melbourne bubble and come to Point Lonsdale, I will come and deliver wine to you, because I have friends in Anglesea and I have friends in Indented Head and I have you in Point Lonsdale who I would love to come and visit. It's just at the moment, it's just too hard. We'll do our best. We will organise a special delivery to your side of town one day in the not too distant future. Peter and Sue, Linda is a superstar delivering wine. And Kay, I am so jealous of your Peking Duck right now, because I think a wine of this age and with this sort of purity and restraint and elegance. Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Nina. Nina says on text that savouriness and sweetness in the wine, the sweet cherry fruit, the florals, and then those savoury, mushroomy, tangy, pomegranate characters go so well with the flavours that you find in Peking Duck, for example, because you've got that savoury meatiness, that really lovely gamey, ducky flavour, and then you've got the crunchy skin on top that's all glazed and salty and delicious. And then you've got the sauce, the hoisin sauce, which is sweet and salty and savoury, and the little bit of fresh chives and French onions and all of those flavours that come together in Peking Duck is just so delicious. And I agree, Kati, that you look at the colour and you think, oh, it's just going to be a light little friendly little Pinot Noir, but there's so much depth of aroma and flavour, and it will keep evolving as we smell and taste this wine. So I thought, when I was, Nick, you can taste grapes, very good. Well, I thought I might talk a little bit about that amazing alchemy that is the grapes being turned into wine, and then young wine developing into older wine, and why some wines age really well and why some wines age less well. Richard, would you like some Robinson 2012 Pinot?
Oh, good. I think your mother and your brother would like some as well.
Excellent. The kitchen team has come to steal the wine from me. Luckily, I poured myself a nice big glass, so the rest has gone to the kitchen. So those of you who are getting dinner tomorrow and on Saturday, rest assured that your dinner will be cooked with a glass of Robinson Pinot Noir in hand. Not too much though, because they've got to concentrate on their cooking as well. It's an amazing thing when you think about it, that you pick this fruit that if you just picked it and left it in a bowl, it might last for a week. It would sort of dry out and shrivel up. It might go a bit moldy. It might ferment a little bit, but it stops tasting delicious and fruity really quickly if you don't do anything to it. If, however, you take this fruit and you process it and you encourage it to ferment in a clean environment, so you get the good yeasts doing what you want them to do and you keep the bad yeasts and bacteria away from the wine, you get these wonderful, you preserve the fruit aromas, but you also get all these extra things coming in to the wine from the fermentation process. The alcohol, the sugar turns to alcohol, so it's not sweet anymore, but the alcohol fills that space, that void that the sugar has left. So it gives you texture and it gives you mouthfeel. That's why de-alcoholized wine is really disappointing. It's a bit like, when you go out and buy, I don't know, for those of you who have never been on a diet, you won't know what I'm talking about, but almost every diet says have low-fat yogurt and low-fat cheese and low-fat everything. Low-fat dairy product particularly is full of sugar, because if you take the fat out, then there's a hole in the flavor profile, and so they put sugar in instead. So it's actually not very good for you if you're trying to lose weight and get healthy. Just eat a bit less, but eat the full fat stuff. In the same way with wine, if you want to cut down on your alcohol intake, drink a smaller glass of wine or drink one less glass of wine at night. Don't go looking for de-alcoholized wine, because the alcohol has a really important effect on the way the wine tastes and the way the wine feels on your palate. And they still haven't, science has not worked out a way to take the alcohol out of wine without taking the joy out of wine as well. So a little bit less wine, have a glass of water in between glasses. If you're feeling like, you need less alcohol in your life, just smaller pause. But a little bit of alcohol is a very good thing. You just got to get your dose right. Hey, Shell, that's my doctor's prescription for the night. Craig, I haven't. I'm not surprised that Pinot Palooza is sending Pinot out in cans. It's a very cool, groovy thing to do, and Pinot Palooza is very cool and groovy. Cans actually are a very good way to package liquids, and I think that we'll see a lot more wine in cans in the future. I don't think you'll see Moorooduc Estate in cans anytime soon. Paul, what is this smaller glass you speak of? It's a journey that you have to go on your own, my son. You go seeking for the big glasses are good. That you just don't need to fill it all the way up to the top. It's good. If you don't feel like you need to drink less alcohol, then that's good too. I'm just saying, don't go the de-alcoholized route. Just get your dose right with the real stuff. What was I saying? Pinot in cans. Pinot in cans. It's a great way to get sort of easy drinking wine out into the world. Some people would argue that it's a smaller carbon footprint than glass. I'm not sure if I agree, because cans have to be produced and recycled in the same way that glass needs to be produced and recycled. It's an ongoing issue for the wine industry, how we can be more environmentally friendly, how we can be more sustainable, how we can tread more lightly on this earth, and it's something that we think long and hard about. I think you'll probably notice that the Moorooduc Estate bottles are not terribly heavy bottles. You can get a lot of wine bottles that weigh in at over 1 kilo just for the glass, and that's absolutely ridiculous. That means that you're using more glass than you need to. it's going to cost more to transport the wine because it's heavier. So we'll use more fuel to move it around the world. And there's absolutely no reason to put wine into a heavy bottle that has a huge punt in the bottom of it. You know, the punt, the hollow bit at the bottom. Some of the particularly Burgundy bottles, but also New World wines that are trying to be fancier than they actually are. They put them in a bigger bottle with a bigger punt, and it makes it seem more prestigious for some reason. I think that those of us who are emotionally and intellectually evolved understand that the size of your bottle does not actually make it better. Bigger is not necessarily better. It's what you do with it that matters. And we put good wine in our bottles, and we make sure that the bottles are just the perfect weight. So that's what I think of wine in cans, Craig. We're not going to do it. I know lots of people do. It's an easy way to have a can of wine for a picnic. But I do think it makes people think that they're drinking less than they are, because a can is actually half a bottle, pretty much. And so if you drink a can of wine, you feel like you're drinking a can of beer often, unless it's those little smaller cans. And then I think it's harder to remember how much you've had to drink if you're drinking it by the can. So it can get I think it could probably get a bit out of control there. So Sharpie and Rod, I can explain the clones MV6 and 777, and thank you for bringing me back to this wine again. I need to be corralled by you lot sometimes. So these are clones. Clones of Pinot Noir are something that we wine geeks talk about a lot. And so what does it mean? Okay, so let's go back a couple of steps. When you grow a grapevine, it's not grown from the seed of a grape, it's grown from a cutting of another vine. And that's because if you want to grow Pinot Noir, then your Pinot Noir, the seed of a Pinot Noir grape, will not necessarily give you Pinot Noir vine, because it's been pollinated and it could evolve into something else. Vines kind of are fairly, they evolve quite quickly that way. And so what we do to keep growing Pinot Noir, for example, is we cut a piece of the vine off and we stick it in the ground, and it grows roots, and it's theoretically, genetically exactly the same material as the vine that you've taken it from. Okay, the Pinot Palooza cans at 150 mils. That's good. Amanda, thank you very much. Bottles or bags? Ha ha ha. Bag in box is also a very controversial. We won't talk about that at the moment, but we might come back to it if we run out of things to say. When you're taking cuttings of vines and growing them and taking them all around the world and growing vines from the same genetic material that you took from somewhere else, the more iterations of that you have, it sometimes Kieran, you're hilarious. The more times you take a cutting from a vine and plant it in the ground and grow it up again, it just mutates a little bit. And so Pinot Noir that's growing in different parts of the world, the longer it's been in that vineyard, the more of its own character it will get. And so it's genetically slightly different from the mother vine after a few iterations. When we talk about clones, we're talking about those slight genetic mutations. Still Pinot Noir, but it's not quite the same. So MV6 clone came out to Australia from, we believe, Claude Vougeot vineyard in Burgundy in the 1850s with I always forget his name when I'm talking to you guys. It makes me feel much less intelligent when I forget my wine trivia and can't tell you what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, came out just after the first fleet, when people started growing grapes to make wine in Australia. I've just been reading actually Max Allen's book, which I can't remember the name of either, I'll bring it for show and tell next week so that I don't have to remember things. This Pinot Noir came out to Australia in the 1800s anyway, and it was planted in vineyards in the Hunter Valley, and it was grown fairly unsuccessfully as a premium grape variety in the Hunter Valley because it was too hot there, and the vines really struggled. But they evolved to cope with the Australian heat and the humidity of the Hunter Valley over 150 years. And now MV6 is a clone that's planted widely around Australia because it's actually quite resilient to our climate. 777 is a clone that was taken from that was bred up at Dijon University and was brought out to Australia, I think, in the late 1980s, early 1990s. And James Busby, thank you, Michael. John MacArthur, thank you, Jeff. No, Michael wins the prize. James Busby was the man who brought the cuttings of Pinot Noir out to Australia in the 1800s. He went to South Africa first to pick up cuttings, and he brought them back and they just weren't good enough. So then he got sent back to France and he got cuttings of Pinot Noir from Burgundy and Riesling from Germany and Syrah and Cabernet and Merlot from different parts of France. So brought it all out. That's why we have all these French varieties, because he went back to France and brought them, and that's what people drank, or the English people who colonised Australia drank at the time. So I'll sip of wine. I'm getting parched talking to you. So 777's been here for much less time than MV6. Charpienrod, there are heaps of different clones of Pinot Noir in Australia now. There's probably 10, 12, 15 commonly used clones. And people make the mistake of just talking about clones, and MV6 has this character and 777 has this character. It depends where you grow it. So on the Robinson vineyard, 777 has beautiful perfume, red fruit, elegance, and all that lift that we're seeing in this wine. And the MV6 gives us a little bit more base notes, a little bit more softness and roundness in the mid palate. On the McIntyre vineyard, on the other hand, 777 is much darker, much more structured, very different beast. So even growing grapes sort of 3 kilometres apart on slightly different soil, slightly different aspects, they'll behave differently. So the clonal discussion can go on and on. I'm going to stop now because I bore even myself talking about clones too much, but it's about mixing different clones of Pinot Noir from different vineyards or from the same vineyard brings more complexity generally into a wine than just using a single clone. That's the sort of short answer to that question. Jeff, I'm all over the place today as well. Too many deliveries, too much driving, too many deliveries, not enough sitting and thinking and using our brains. Does terroir trump genetics? They walk hand in hand. I think they're both important. The French will say, the Burgundians will say that as vines get older, clone selection becomes much less important and terroir becomes much more important. So that's a French thing, and the French say a lot of stuff, and some of it's really clever and some of it's sort of really good marketing. Please excuse the barking and growling in the background. Polly's just having one of her little moments. Polly, can you be quiet just for a little while, please? I'm talking to my friends. Yeah, they're here. Look, say hi. Say hi, Polly. Polly, say hi. Say hi. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, she thinks I'm mad. Polly doesn't like the French. That's right. So, yeah, Rob, I think terroir and genetics are both really important. And Kati asked about rootstock before, and rootstock's another complexing addition to the whole conversation. The meat also smells amazing. So if there are any missing boxes, you'll know where to. Tallulah, you can't bark when I'm talking to my friends. My brother's dog's here. She's little and squeaky. Get the cashews, absolutely. What was I saying? Now I've completely lost track of what I was talking about. But Jeff is a very good delivery man, isn't he? I think that he has other skills, luckily. And Jeff and I will have to stop doing deliveries one day. Rootstock, thank you, Kay. Thank you. I was gathering my thoughts, but it's even better when you help me gather them. So there is a little bug that came from America, lives in the soil in America, called phylloxera. It's a cunning and horrid little bug. It has many different variations of phylloxera. Some of them crawl around under the soil. Some of them have wings and fly around. It has a very complex life cycle, and we don't like it because it likes to eat Vitis vinifera vines, which is your French grape varieties and a lot of Italian grape varieties. It likes to eat them from the roots up. And in the 1800s, an English plant collector, wealthy plant collector, went on a plant collecting mission to America and gathered a whole lot of plants and their soil, brought them back to England, planted them all in England. And of course, the French plant collectors, a couple of French plant collectors went over and went, "Whoa, what a beautiful collection you have there!" And took some rootlings, took some stock, They brought this pest into England, and then they brought it across to France. And because France is planted so densely with vineyards, phylloxera raged across the vineyards of France and killed and the vineyards of Europe. And thanks, Amanda. I actually do a very good French accent, but that was my bad French accent just for you guys. But this phylloxera bug got all through Europe and just killed all the vineyards. It was a complete disaster. And around the late 1800s, early 1900s, it coincided with Australia actually having a really strong burgeoning wine industry. And for a little while there, Australian wine was being exported back to Europe and to England because there was literally no wine being made in Europe because of phylloxera. It came to Australia eventually, but what they worked out was that there's no way of killing this bug. There's no way of getting rid of it once it's in the soil, but it doesn't eat American vine rootstocks. So they're a different genus, Vitis whatever else they are, but not Vitis vinifera. And they're immune to phylloxera. So the amazingly awesome solution was grafting the Vitis vinifera vines onto American rootstocks. Oh, am I? Sorry, Alison. No, I thought that was my French accent, but we might be having trouble with, can you hear me now? We might be having trouble with the connection. Grafting Vitis vinifera onto rootstocks, and so the rootstocks go into the ground and the phylloxera won't eat them, and your Shiraz and your Pinot and your Chardonnay, whatever, grow out the top happily and give us the beautiful fruit that we want. Am I still breaking up, guys? Because we're probably getting towards the end of things and I can cut things short. Well, I might do that actually because I can't see any indication that there's a problem with the internet, but yeah, okay. Well, that's enough on rootstocks anyway because it's also quite boring. What I'm going to say is cheers, everyone. It's been lovely seeing you all. I will probably see a few more of you again in the next couple of days with boxes of food. Next week, I'm clear again now. Next week, we're doing gin and tonic. So what you need, yes, the COVID-19 defines, absolutely, Penny. What you need next week, this week, enjoy this wine slowly and with thought and with joy and with hopefully delicious food. Next week, you guys have to forage your drink for yourselves. I'm not sending you gin or tonic. You have to get it yourself. I know it's really tough. Gin, bring some gin to the table, bring some hot tonic to the table, bring your garnish of choice. I will be bringing everything. We'll be making a gin and tonic together. Ice, you need ice and you need your favourite gin and tonic glass. Gin and tonic's great in a Pinot glass. So that's probably what I'll be doing. I will make my gin and tonic and talk to you about what I like about the things that go into a gin and tonic. The gin is not in the pack, David. You have to go out and find your own gin, and you have to go out and find your own tonic and your own garnishes. This is a find your own drink next week. You can go and get yourself a gin and tonic in a can if you can't be bothered doing anything else, or if you just want to have a glass of wine and listen to me talk about gin, that's okay as well. We're starting the next pack the week after next. So if you haven't ordered your pack yet, I think all of you have, but if you haven't ordered your pack yet, get your order in. We'll get it out to you in the next week. Jeff and I are full up with food and wine deliveries for tomorrow and Saturday, but next week we'll be back on wine deliveries. I adore this Pinot too, Jeff. I feel like we could keep talking about it forever, but I fear that we're breaking up, so I'm going to leave you guys with the Pinot to talk for itself. Your food, your company. It's been awesome to see you. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the Pinot. Keep enjoying it. It's getting more meaty and savoury now. So all sorts of gorgeousness. Kumquats for G&T, absolutely. So yes, I will be bringing kumquats. I'll be bringing lemon. I'll be bringing lime and some other things as well. I'll send you some suggestions in the email on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend. May everyone's football team win. And if not, just have a nice glass of wine and some good party pies and enjoy. And Kieran, you can have a gin and tonic with us. Won't be 9 o'clock in the morning or something, but anyway, that'll be okay. You're in. You're having a breakfast gin and tonic. You are absolutely on. Love you guys. Take care. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more free, we Victorians, a little bit more free this time next week than we are at the moment. Looking forward to hearing what Dan has to say this Sunday. Take care. Keep enjoying that Pinot, guys. Cheers.